Hey, what's up? What's up? Knolly Williams here, your success coach. I am here to inspire you to become all that God created you to be so that you can live the life you were meant to live. And I have with me Deb and Will Gilliam, our number one, let me say it again, number one, Mentorship Masters Ambassadors. What does that mean? Well, you guys have more in your group than any other Mentorship Master Ambassador. So you're silver level, baby.
All right, baby.
So we'll talk more about what that is on another video. But today we just I want Will, because when we've already spent a week together hanging out at this cabin, and I keep hearing all these little clips about with great advice that agents should be hearing. And I said, let's just make a video where we give some all-around, short video, but all-around good advice to realtors from the man himself. You call him, what do you call these little quips that you have? Gillianisms? Or what? Anyway, Willisms?
Yeah,
anyway,
Willisms. I like that.
All-around good advice for you. So, and I see he's got like tons and tons of notes. He's not going to share all these here, because why? Because this is for a master class, the kind of stuff that he gives to agents that he sponsors.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
But right now he's going to give you a couple of things, because you tuned in, you want some free stuff here.
Yeah.
And we're going to give it to you. It's going to be valuable. So,
right off the bat, Knolly, people get in the business and they're thinking, man, what do I do? What's the first thing I do? And I tell them, mine your database. Well, I don't have a database. What's that? Your contacts, people you know. Well, yeah, your phone. Perfect example, Deb.
Yes.
Look at your phone. I mean, my phone, I have 2,300 people on my phone. And a good thing is do a roulette and stop. Oh, I'm never going to call that guy. Well, delete. Get rid of them. But every realtor that decides to become a realtor, a professional, not just a realtor, a professional.
not a dabbler?
Not a dabbler. Where do you start? You're like, well, do I need to go get realtor leads? Zillow, Trulia? No. You know at least 250 people. Here's the thing. Think of 2 invites you would do. 250 people you invite to your funeral, or 250 people you invite to your wedding. Guaranteed, 250 people that you would want to see. If you're at your funeral, you're not going to see them, but at your wedding, and you're like, well, I just don't know 250 people. Well, do you have an accountant? Do you have a hairdresser? Do you have a dentist? Do you have a dental hygienist? I mean, if you really did the math, you're going to have 400 or 500 people. That's where you start. You can't be a secret agent now in this business. What do I mean by that? You got to let everybody know. You get on Facebook. Hey, if you're interested in thinking about buying or selling a house, call me. I have my license. Let's do this. So that's the number one thing. You got to build your database. And on one training we've done in the past, they were saying that for every name in your database, Knolly, every person that knows you, likes you, trusts you, it's worth $1,000 a year in income. Why is that? Because of the 250 people, half the time, so that's 120. What is that? 125? They know 125 people that are thinking about buying or selling a home. There's 125 leads, but you're not going to get them if you don't call them.
Well, wait a minute, won't they call me? They'll remember that I'm in real estate and just call me.
I can tell you right now, you can do a deal, close a deal, and then 3 years later, because you didn't stay in touch with your people,
Right.
they sold their house and they see it at HB. Oh, I'm sorry, well,
I forgot.
You're like,
Yeah, we've heard that.
I thought we loved each other. Well, William, I hadn't heard from you. Ow, shot through the heart. I'm to blame.
Yeah.
I give no contact a bad name of Bon Jovi. So you have to make contacts. Contacts equal what, Knolly? Contracts. So that's the first thing you got to do is work on your database. Who do I know? Who am I going to let know? And those people are going to be so excited for you. They're going to want to support you. And I know you're probably thinking, I don't really know. I just got out of real estate school, I have my license, but I don't know anything. You're right, you don't. But they're going to ask you maybe, well, Debbie, why should I hire you?
Because I have a team behind me and I get results.
She gets results.
Yeah.
Let me have that. A high five.
Okay.
She gets results. Well, okay, Mrs. Smarty Pants, you ever sold $1 million home?
No, but I get results, and I know how to do it.
See,
I get results, and I know how to do it.
I know how to do it. But you
That's
say,
all they're looking for.
That is.
be honest. No, I've never sold $1 million home, but I know how. Well, how do you know how? I've got this team behind me, because I'm not alone. And that's what's cool when you join it's really important as a realtor. You get your license. Now, where am I going to go? You have to choose the right company, because you're not just going to be a realtor. You're going to be an entrepreneur. You're in business. And with EXP, I mean, that's what, we did a video about why and how I chose it, being an independent. And you've got to be thinking like an entrepreneur. And multiple streams of income. I've preached that since back in the 80s when that guy wrote that book. I forget his name. Multiple streams of income. You got to have multiple streams of income, because if the market crashes, what are you going to do? Well, with EXP, we have multiple streams of income. Actually, it's called wealth building. And you can't just live on your commission. And with EXP, Knolly, we get stock. Right off the bat, you join, you get stock. And when you cap, what does that mean? When you put in your $16,000 toward commission, you get an 80-20 split.
Which is really not difficult to do when you think about it. I mean, less than $3 million. About
Less than $3 million.
2.5, 2.6 million in sales.
Right.
And I did that I did more than that my first year. And if you have the right people behind you, you'll crush that.
Yep.
And if you have 250 people in your database, you should at least cap. Or I expect everybody that comes with us, do the work. And you should make at least 100,000, 6 figures. Do the work. And that's, then people say, well, what's the work? Call people. It's a contact sport. Pretty simple. And so that's really, really important. And then once you get in, you get your license, you've chosen somebody, preferably EXP or somebody that can go with EXP. And then you need to train. You just can't, well, I'm licensed, you're waiting by your phone. It's not going to happen. You got to do the work. And train. EXP offers over 50 hours a week live training.
And you talked about that training actually coming from Icons. I hadn't really put that together. I knew that, but what does that mean? This is training from Icons.
All right, let me tell you, Icons, these are what, when you hear the word icon, I think first thing that comes to me is Roger Staubach. He's my icon. Tony Dorsett, people like that. But with EXP, an icon is somebody that's capped. And Tony Pippinger, he's our icon. He capped in 6 weeks after joining EXP.
Wow.
And then he did 20 more transactions past capping. And then when you cap, you get $16,000. What you paid in, you get back in stock. But people that make icons, they're not the cream of the crop. Did you realize, now I think it was last year or the year before, NAR said that 97% of all real estate transactions are done by 3% of the realtors?
Wow.
That's huge.
That's incredible.
And with Icon, with the EXP Icons, those are those 3% guys. And they offer training, and they tell you everything that they've done, that they're doing. How did I get there? They tell you, and they share that. Go to another company, an independent, find their top dog, and ask him for help. He's not going to give it to you. That's his secret. EXP, they share. It's like a family. It is a family. And these icons, they share. And Tony, he's going to be sharing how he did it. And you learn from success leaves what? Clues. Success leaves clues. That's why you follow people that have done it, been there, done that. And so that's one of those things EXP offers, and they have a lot of icons, and they leave clues. Gobble it up.
And the other thing with the icons, they're currently still in the business. They aren't someone that, I used to sell, and this is the way I used to sell, but no, they've got you up to date, current info to help you succeed.
And that's a great point, because this is what I like to tell people. I share this with people all the time, because they're like, Knolly, would you be my sponsor? I'm like, there probably are, in our Mentorship Masters group, there are better sponsors than me. Well, how could that be possible? Well, even though I sold over 1,000 homes in my first 10 years in the business, guess what? God has me as a trainer, a coach, a speaker, and I'm really teaching people destiny discovery and things like that.
Right.
You know, not even so much around real estate. So that's why I say, you know, you might actually be better under Will Gilliam than under me. Why? Because this man, I've spent a week with him, and he's doing deal after deal. Put one on the market. We were at a pizza place, okay?
Cloudcroft.
Cloudcroft. We're sitting, just our pizza was about to come out, and you bing on your iPad. You put a house on the market, and what happened?
15 minutes later, an agent out of San Antonio calls me and says, "Hey, that house is it FHA approved? It's a condo." I thought, "Ooh, good. I don't know." She goes, "If it is, I'm putting a full price offer." And I thought, in 15 minutes,
before the pizza came out.
We just hit send. It went live, and 15 minutes later, I get a full price offer. Unfortunately, it's not FHA approved, but she's not done. I mean, that's just an example of
and you guys are on the job while you're on vacation. And with me, it's like, hey, you get Will and his current knowledge of what's going on when you join Mentorship Masters under him, and you get me.
Yeah.
You get me anyway. That's just by default. You get that anyway.
But with Knolly, you have so much to offer. You've offered us. I mean, the things you used to sell make thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now you give it to us for
Absolutely free. Absolutely free.
And so it's a bonus. You get to pick my brain. You get all the resources that you have. Even that book that on selling. It's like, be an author. People love. You're an author. That's your face on that book.
Yeah.
You got to be good.
That's my complete toolkit where you get my pre-listing presentation that I used on hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listings. And that wasn't just something that it was a once and done. I tweaked that over years and years. I take that out, put that in, and now it's very concise but very effective. You also get the seller guide, and that's the complete guide to selling your home that you give to your sellers, and it's got your picture on it. It's offered you your name on it, and a ton of other stuff.
Tons. Don't chase those shiny objects. I mean, when you're part of the Lake Life team or EXP, and I'm your sponsor, Knolly's your sponsor. He's your mentor, your coach, and we get all his resources. And then, not to mention Brent Gove, BrentGove.com, the BrentGoveResources.com.
Jay Kinder, Mike Reese,
all those guys that were making millions.
Kevin Kaufman, don't want to leave him off.
Kevin
and Fred, they sell over 450 homes a year. Hello. And they're also part of our group. So you get a ton. You can't fail. You can't fail.
You have to work at it
unless you're not doing the work. You'd have to
work
at it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good
right.
thing.
And a lot of things people ask me is, hey, I was thinking about getting my broker license. It takes a while now in Texas. You have to have so many transactions, so many years experience. And now I tell people, when you join EXP, why do you want to be a broker? Well, I'm going to grow a team. Oh, really? How would you have to grow a team and not be a broker and not have the headache and hassle?
Or liability.
Or liability. How do you do that? Well, with EXP in Texas, we have 5 brokers. And I can build a team in Texas. We cross borders. I can build one in California.
New Mexico,
where we're at. We can go to Mexico. Mexico's going to be coming on board this year.
Right.
Australia, you know any people down under? You can grow a team down there. England. I mean, this company is becoming...
Canada?
It's Canada. It's borderless. You want to grow a team? It's exponential. And you don't have to be a broker. That's awesome. And you don't have to just do it in your own state or city. Borderless. That is priceless.
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
So in closing, any other piece of advice that you could say? I mean, I think what you gave is super powerful. And sometimes people think, oh, it's too simple. It's too easy. But they won't do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And when they come to me, they say, hey, well, here's what I liken it to. You're because you have a buffet. You open your shop, you've got a full buffet, and it's like, okay, but wait a minute, stay in this section first. Don't go to the dessert.
Right.
You're right.
Stay in this section first, fill up your plate. They come back to the table, they've got a full plate of food, and then they're like, what else you got? It's like, dude, you haven't even taken a bite of your food. You haven't even finished your plate.
Right.
Yeah.
So speak to that for just a moment in terms of agents that come and say, hey, I'm not quite hitting my numbers, but I want more. What else should I do?
The first thing when they say I want more, it's like, well, what are you doing now? I mean, it always starts with, what are you doing now?
What are you doing now? What are you doing?
What are you doing to get your phone to ring? How many calls did you make this week? Deer in the headlight.
None.
And you're wondering why you don't have a pipeline. You wonder why your phone's not ringing because you're not calling. And it's like I said at the beginning, it's contacts equal contracts. And what are you doing if the phone's not ringing? You have all this freedom. Everybody thinks, oh, I'm a realtor. I have all this time and freedom. Are you training? Well, what do you mean am I training? If somebody asks you some questions, or do you know about in our area BFE? What is that? Base flood elevation. Do you know about that? Do you know about septics? Well, I know I don't want to be around one. There's things you need to know, and then we're called salesmen, and most realtors, I'm going to say 99%. I'm going to go that far. Are not trained salesmen at all. They have no idea what to say, what to do. And when you're coming on to EXP and you get over 50 hours a week live training, Icon and others, industry leaders, you get pick my brain, pick Knolly's brain. You have more training, and like you said, how can you fail? You can't. You have to work at not failing. And this job, like we said before, is one of the easiest jobs you'll ever have. And yet, if you don't do the work, which is contacts, it's the hardest job. And why is it so hard to pick up a phone call your neighbor or your friends, people that know you, love you, trust you? That's your business. That's where it's going to come from. Don't go buy leads. Nobody wants to hear from a stranger.
Right, that's true.
I mean, that's so it in a nutshell.
And I keep saying we're going to close this, but this is really good stuff. And one of the things that fascinates me about you both, is that you're still learning.
Oh, yeah.
You're lifelong learners. And you were talking about some concepts around the boss.
Yeah, Chris Voss. Never Split the Difference.
Never Split the Difference and negotiating. I haven't read it yet, but I'm definitely going to read the book. But you've actually gone further than just reading the book.
Oh, yeah. We took a deep dive, and we had a 2-day event. We got a condo in Horseshoe Bay, and we had our team. There was about 12 of us that showed up, and we spent 8 hours a day listening to a performance coach out in California talking with Chris Voss, and he shared with us all his book, Never Split the Difference. And he was an FBI international hostage negotiator, the director. And you think, never split the difference. What does that mean? Especially in hostage negotiation. He's on the phone with a bank robber, and he's got 20 hostages, and his book is Never Split the Difference. He's like, hey, you keep 10 hostages, you give me 10. No, Chris Voss, I need all 20 of those. And the guy's like, I need a plane. I want a plane warmed up and ready to go to Cuba. And Chris is like, but I'm not going to give you any more. You got to read the book. And we got the training. It's phenomenal.
You guys have created your own training. So would you cut your commission for me? You know, I'm thinking about listing with you, Will, but I need you to cut your. Would you cut your commission?
Good question. No. So what else do you have? What other questions do you have?
Now, you gave me another example of. Give us another example of a sort of a Chris Voss type.
So I'm walking into a listing appointment. I don't know the people. It's not a referral. When it's a referral, you come with your listing package, ready to sign them up. So they're here and they're armed and ready, sizing me up. So the first thing I say to them is, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, thank you for having me out here. You're probably thinking, is this guy competent? Is this guy smart enough? Is this guy going to sell our house on time? Is this guy going to get us most money we can? Is this guy? And then you see they're like,
start to relax.
There's like, I like this guy. I just knocked that wall down because they were already thinking it. And then I gave. So
now you don't have to spend an hour trying to chip away at it. You just knock it down.
And then when I see that smile, and you will see that smile on their face. Remember, they called me. And then I'll follow up and say, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, you know, I told you that already. Why'd you call me? Why'd you call Will Gilliam? Then they start saying, well, you know, Bob and Susie, you closed your house and you did it in record time. You got them the most amount of money. All these things are telling me why they called me. Guess what?
They just sold themselves.
They just sold themselves. Then by the time we're done, it's like, well, you guys ever sold a house? Oh, yeah. What are you thinking? I'm letting them do all the talking. And then within 20 minutes, we're signing. 20 minutes. Don't buy that stuff. It takes 2 to 3 hours to sell. That's because you're doing all the backpedaling and you're treading water trying to sell them. And I went in and Chris Vossed them. In 20 minutes, I've got a listing agreement. We're gone.
One more concept, and this is great. You're giving meat and potatoes here. So one more concept is this whole idea around the no. We've got to get the no out of the way. because people like saying the word. They just like.
You're just
they're
giving them
trained
permission to say no.
to say no.
Yeah.
There's so much negativity on the news, especially now, COVID and all the riots and all that. Everybody's uptight. They just want to say no. They just want to say no. And here's a classic example. You walk into a department store, and you're looking through the rack, and here comes that peppy old lady. She's all happy. May I help you? No, I'm just looking. Like, whoa, okay. If the lady was boss, she would have said, hey, Knolly, would it be crazy to think that you might need my help?
No.
No, it wouldn't be crazy. So I got my no out of my system, and now she can proceed. So she asked the right question, got the no, that I'm just, no.
People are on the edge, ready to say no.
They're
so
ready.
You get the no out, but it's almost a double negative.
That
Right.
no means yes, but I said no.
Would it be crazy? Hey, you asked me out to your house. Would it be? Talk about that one.
Yeah.
You asked me out here. Would it be crazy to think that you want to hire me to sell your home? No.
Exactly. and I didn't start with I. It's like,
Yeah.
would it be? And it's always about you are probably
yeah.
thinking
Mm-hmm.
this, and that. So those are just two examples, but they're powerful, powerful. And we trained our office. We trained.
And but here's the thing: you've already been selling tens of millions of real estate a year,
Right.
And now you're learning all this new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And next year you're going to be learning something new and sharing that with your people.
And, you know, I was in pharmaceutical sales for over 20 years, and we had training, top dog training. And this Chris Voss stuff is all, everything you ever learn, throw it out.
Yeah.
Because it's all about getting yes, 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 yes. You got to get to know to get to yes.
Absolutely.
And so it's just part of the training that we do.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
So we just want to hit you with some nuggets. Thank you so much, guys. Y'all, you crushed it. You got it. This was on one take. We didn't do multiple takes here. And y'all crushed it. So appreciate what you guys do. Appreciate you for being our #1 Mentorship Masters ambassador.
Thank you for what you do for us. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
If you guys have been looking into Mentorship Masters or thinking about it, give them a call. Give them a call. Talk to them about it. Hey, is this the real deal?
It's the real deal.
And you also can get them directly as well by allowing them to be your sponsor. So, hey, just wanted to share that with you. God bless.